Hey, what's going on, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer. Long time no see, no time like the present. So I got a lot to talk about here, lots to cover. I'm going to try to go as quickly as possible to get this in just over that sweet ad revenue mark, 10-minute mark. So first things first, I shot a video over the last couple of days. Obviously, a lot of times when I shoot the video, it's in different parts when it's outside, and it ended up with me going to the thrift store yesterday, and I said en route, I said, we'll donate a few things and then hopefully pick up a few things as well. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much to pick up at the thrift store, so it would have been a lackluster video, so I just scrapped it all together. But whoa! There was a Japanese Nintendo Wii there, and actually it was complete in box. It was $50. It was identical to this, same box and everything. So although it's kind of unique to see a Japanese Wii in North America, at least I've never seen one, I don't think they're considered rare by any means. I'm sure if you went over to Japan, it wouldn't cost that much to purchase one. They also had a copy of the racing game Juiced, and it was on the PS2. But I looked at the disc, it had a lot of scuff marks on it. So I said, screw it. For $5.99, I can do without. I'll pick up a mint copy down the road, probably around the same price. So today, beer of the day, as I try to digest the pizza I just ate, we're drinking Corona. Yep, the premium stuff. So I've been real busy lately. I've been on the road. I worked last night till 9, and then I was up today at 4:30 in the morning, and I was out until around 11 o'clock, and then I got home around 12. It's a little bit closer to 1 o'clock as I shoot this video, and I got a real cool topic to discuss. Now, with this topic here, before we get into it, I also want to mention Turbo Joe, my buddy Turbo Joe, old school. He posted a video yesterday talking about his most favorite boxing games, or top 5 boxing video games of all time. Now, I don't really want to get too much into that, but his number one pick was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which I can't argue with. Now, with Mike Tyson, I don't know. He mentioned Buster Douglas. He was kind of chirping Buster Douglas in his video. Those of you who don't know the story, Mike Tyson was he was the most ferocious fighter on the planet. And right around 1990, he had a fight in Japan. I think it was Tokyo Dome, against Buster Douglas. And Buster Douglas was like an underdog. It was like 47-1 odds. Everybody, counted him out. Pun intended. And Buster Douglas ended up knocking Mike Tyson out in the 10th round. Well, I've never actually seen the fight, or if I did, I can't remember it. And I thought Mike Tyson had been in prison before that fight, but I was wrong. I looked it up on Wikipedia. Mike Tyson went to prison, I think, in 1992, so a couple of years later. So the Mike Tyson that fought Buster Douglas was a Tyson that was in his prime, probably 25 years old, but it was his cornermen that had changed. So he didn't have his regular cornermen, and in that fight, they were extremely underprepared. They didn't have the swell bar to swell the bruise on his eye that kind of blew up from Douglas's jabs. And then in the fight, apparently at one point, Tyson's corner put ice cold water in a rubber glove just to try to swell his eye down. And one of his cornermen had like a key card, I guess, to get into the building with a chain around his arm, and he was putting the cold water on Tyson's eye, and he went like this, and he actually scraped Tyson's eye and made it even worse. Like, he cut the skin, so obviously that made it even worse. And then apparently in the 9th round, Tyson actually he knocked Buster Douglas down, and I guess something happened where the referee had to do the 10 count, or something weird happened. And then later on, after the fight, Don King protested that it was a slow count. And apparently for the first 4 days after that fight, there was protests, and people were saying Mike Tyson got robbed and it was a slow count and it should have been a knockout. And then eventually Buster Douglas got that reversed, and it counted as a legitimate win So I know not all of you guys are into boxing, but I thought it was interesting. So that's my goal today. After I get done this video, I'm gonna try to watch that whole fight and understand what really went on during that fight, because there's a lot of intricacies and a lot of crazy things that went down during that fight. So with that out of the way, we're already at the 5-minute mark. Let's get on with today's episode here. Now, I got my black book out. You know I mean business when I got the black book out. And today's topic, I've written it down because I don't want to mess this up. We're talking about the top 5 collector pet peeves. So the top 5 things that piss me off as either being a collector or seeing other things that other collectors do. And man, there are so many things I could have put on this list. It could have been a list of 20 things. So what I'm going to do today, if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to rhyme off these 5 that I have. I think these are the 5 worst. You guys can leave it in the comments below if you want me to do a part 2, or if you guys have other things that I've missed. Please, by all means, leave it in the comments and we'll have a discussion. So, top 5 collector pet peeves. At number 5, collectors that buy solely for the purpose of reselling. CJR, he's a primary offender. He does this all the time. He goes to yard sales. I think he lives up in the Windsor area. I apologize if any of you guys are fans of CJR, but man, the guy's an absolute scumbag. He goes to all the yard sales at like 6:30 in the morning, and he goes through all the games and all the systems. He'll get like a Nintendo Wii, even though he owns like, probably a dozen of them. He'll bring it home and he'll clean it up, and then he'll put it on Kijiji, and then he'll resell it. I can't stand that. I hate that. Leave it there for the next collector. Quit being greedy. And again, we see it all the time. People go to the thrift store and they buy something, and then they go home and they flip it on Kijiji or they flip it on Craigslist. So it's a huge pet peeve of mine. I'm not going to go much further into that, but it really does piss me off. I hate it when people are like, oh, it's trade bait and, blah, 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 blah. Like, fuck off. So number 4, again, it kind of ties into the last one, multiples of everything. So I wanted to bring this up because somebody in my comment section, now if you're watching this, I'm not attacking you because I've been guilty of this myself. We were having a discussion, and he said he had like 4 or 5 original Xboxes. And I think I asked him, like, how the hell do you have 5 of them? He's like, well, I keep seeing them at the thrift store, and I feel bad just seeing them sit there, so I buy them. And again, I can't be too critical on this person because I've been guilty myself. I go to the thrift store, and I see an Xbox 360 Slim 250 gigabyte model, and I can't help myself. I bought, I think, 2 of them at Value Village, even though I already have one. I think I've purchased 4 or 5 PS2s. Do I need 5 PS2s? But I pump the brakes because I understand I can't be doing that. You need to, as a collector, again, you need to understand that this is a hobby, and there's other collectors out there that would like to have the opportunity to maybe find something like that in the wild. You see an original Xbox and you already have one, well, fuck, leave it there for the next guy. Don't be a fucking douchebag. Like, it's tough. I get it. You see something out there, and I get it. You see something like an N64 and maybe you just can't resist. But I mean, I'm telling you guys got to get in the habit of letting things go, even if you really want it. If you already have it, leave it there for the next collector. And if someone else comes by and grabs it just to resell it, that's nothing we can control. If you've done your part, if you can leave it there, and we can only hope that somebody comes by that would like to give it a good home. But you see these people out there, and I'm telling you, they got like Radical Reggie there. He's got like 10 of those PS1, the mini consoles with the screen that flips up. Like, come on, man. You don't need that many. So, again, be mindful of the other collectors out there. You don't need to hoard. So, number 3, scalpers. Now, scalpers, I would say, is different from buying and reselling. Because in this case, scalpers, what I'm talking about, again, a huge pet peeve of mine, is, the best example I can give would be When the 360 came out, scalpers, they picked up the 360s and resold them on eBay for like, what was it, $1,000? But even more recent would be the NES and the NES Classic. The SNES Classic. I can remember when those hit the street, the scalpers were all over those. You go on Kijiji, and they'd have like lots of like 10, 15, and they'd be selling them for like $400 a piece. Can't stand scalpers. That's one of the reasons why I can't stand limited run games, because that's a scalper's market. That's for scalpers to pick up those games and resell them, and it's not good for the collectors out there. Number 2, artificial market inflation. We've talked about this recently. Metal Jesus Rocks, again, with his hidden gems videos. He's talking about games like Splashdown, Rides Gone Wild, and Downhill Domination for the PS2, and the next thing you know, the prices go through the roof. MJR controls the prices in the market. It's unbelievable. So I can't stand the artificial hype, the artificial inflation, especially when a lot of these games are not rare at all. Like the NES as an example. Sure, it might be hard to find these games out in the wild, but why do you think that is? It's because people like John Hancock are hoarding these games, and they're shelf warming them. They're putting these games up on a shelf, and nobody's getting a chance to play them. So again, these games aren't rare. They're just rare to see them outside of everybody's basement. And at number 1, I put on there collector's editions. So I fucking hate collector's editions. Oh my god. Which started off as a good idea maybe about 10 years ago. It's just gone way too far. The collector's editions out there, the boxes that they come in, they don't fit with the rest of your collection. They're always like weird sizes and shapes. They're always ridiculous prices. There's always like multiple different versions of collector's editions. Like look at the Shenmue 3. There was the Kickstarter edition, and there was the limited run games edition again, and it's just ridiculous. I really can't stand it. And you get a collector's edition, and it comes with lithographs, it comes with stickers, it comes with magnets, it comes with a coffee mug. It's just, do we really need all that stuff? I think it's ridiculous. A steelbook is one thing, but the collector's edition of these games is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to leave it there. We're at almost the 14-minute mark, so we've gone overboard here. Phone's going off. Things are getting crazy here. So that's it. Short video. Leave it in the comments below what you guys think about this. Until next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.